Okay, so real quick before I do this podcast episode, because there are things that I can't even try to say on here, I just want to note, isn't it interesting how the superior by default people are allowed to make mistakes because they're only human, but the inferior by default people who don't deserve anything and shouldn't be alive are supposed to be perfect in all things at all times with no mistakes and no excuses for being human. Otherwise, they don't deserve to breathe on this planet anymore. Have you noticed that? It's interesting. It's almost like the superior people aren't superior unless they just get rid of everyone else. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about how the superiors now want to dissolve SCOTUS because SCOTUS is standing in the way of them doing what they are doing. And what they are doing is, I don't know, revoking student visas, but not telling the students and then backdating it so that Frozen Water can go and say, hey, remember that old parking ticket from 5 years ago? We've decided we're going to deport you over that because technically your visa was revoked. We didn't tell you, but it is. Off you go, and that's what they're doing. And no, it's not even Venezuelans. It's Indians, Asian Indians, okay? It's other Asians, okay? It's has nothing to do with people related to gangs, people with criminal records. It's just non-whites, all right? That's it. That is it. And for the Chads that go, due process is for us. Let me break it down for you, darling. What they are saying is, imagine if you got pulled over. I know. That's already an abuse of power. You got pulled over. I know. Just imagine. I take everything in your little bitty mind and imagine that for once you got pulled over. Okay? And when you hand over your ID, that officer says, I don't think this is real. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when the authority man says he doesn't believe you? What's your response then? To get mad, right? And throw a fit and talk to him in all kinds of tones that I could never dream of talking to a blue bacon in. And then you're going to go to the intranets and talk about what a travesty it was that you were treated that way. You were handcuffed and embarrassed and treated like a criminal when you're a citizen and you had ID because they said they didn't believe it. Why, that's an abuse of power. Oh, is it? That's what people are talking about, darling. I know, like I said, interesting how the criminals are allowed to have endless whoopsies and mistakes and we're just human, but the inferior by default people have to be perfect at all times. Well, what were they wearing? Well, why was he in that tent like the Carmelo Anthony? You see him. Well, how come he had a knife? He didn't have a knife. It was a cleat sharpener. Well, how come he was over there? He actually asked for permission to sit under that tent. Well, his family's got criminal record. No, they don't. Well, how'd they get a nice house, a nice car? They have their own money. Well, I saw someone else put it beautifully, darling. If it was two boys of color who were agitating and then hopped on one of this dude and this dude defended himself, y'all would be in the comments about case closed, self-defense, case closed, self-defense, case closed, case closed, case closed. So case closed, baby. It's not funny. The situation itself is not funny. And again, the loss of life is not funny. But this thing where the allegedly superiors. Do I even need to finish that? Okay, I'm going to go work on this episode because y'all, the things. You know the whole reason that they're doing the pick-me's and their whole women protecting women. You know that they're just lining it up so that their nasty drunk husbands can go into public bathrooms and harass other women, right? You know that's what's happening. Their Chad husbands are now just waltzing into women's restrooms because they thought they saw a woman who might not be a woman. And now they need to check everyone who's in there. Gee. I wonder how that is safer. I wonder how someone else's strange, angry, drunk husband coming into the bathroom demanding to check everyone because he has a wife, so he has a right to check, is safer than a woman in the stall next to me peeing. It's almost like that was the end game. It's almost like that's all they ever wanted to do. It's almost like we told you. We keep telling y'all the steeple people are the ones you need to be looking out for because it's a club of criminals. They recruit from the prisons, y'all. Come on. And I'm not talking about personal faith people. I'm talking about steeple people. I'm talking about the people who cheered when the Sixers were released. Them. The 412ers. Them. Those are the ones you got to watch out for. Okay, I'm going to go make my episode.